Ooh, okay. So today we will. Mhm.
Ні, все добре, все добре, будь ласка.
I wanted to tell that Katia Owczarek is the inventor of this topic of heroes, and I liked it very, very much. Mm, to do some exchange with colleagues from different regions of the world, what qualities are valued all over the world, how we learn from examples. And this is what we will focus on during these 90 minutes because today we have shortened time. At 7 p.m., we have another meeting in VAB to memorize Günther Hubner. Everyone is invited and welcome also. I think that he's also one of the heroes that we had opportunity to meet. Mhm. And in the end of today's meeting, we will do also kind of imaginary work connected with the topic. So, Katya.
Gülbin, ben seni duyamıyorum.
Теж було дуже важливо,
It was
коли
also really
спілкувалися з
important
Анною,
when we
що
were
ж
talking with Anna,
обрати, яку тему.
which topic
Е,
we would select.
Зробити провідною для сьогоднішнього вечора,
Which topic to select as the main topic of
нам хотілося,
today's
щоб це
evening.
була та тема, що залучить
We
нас
wanted it to be the
як
topic that
з
will
декількох
engage
ідентичностей
us
до цієї
from
дискусії.
multiple
І як носії
identities
своєї
to this discussion
певної культури,
as the
і
bearers of
як
our own culture.
людей, які мають
And
ось
as
такий
people who have
кроскультуральний
this
погляд на події, а
cross-cultural view
також
on the
як
events,
е,
as well as
психотерапевтів, звісно.
psychotherapists, of
Тобто
course.
не лише
That's
передивитися
not
ці
only
образи, які є в
to look again into
теорії
those
визначній,
images that exist in the theory,
а також і мати змогу
but also to
дослідити їх
have a
якості, їхні
possibility
якості,
to
які впливали
investigate the
на
qualities that were
розвиток тої
influencing
чи іншої культури,
the
які стали
development of
визначними
this
для того,
or
щоб
that
дійсно
culture
наслідувати
that
їх як
were
приклади і
important and decisive to be
брати
repeated
собі
or
ось ці
taken
взірці
as example,
для наслідування.
those examples to be
Ось і
followed.
тому, звісно,
Thus,
буде
of
цікаво,
course,
що ви
it will be
побачили в цій темі,
curious what you
що для вас відгукнулося,
saw in this topic
що є такою
that
мотивацією
spoke
вам
to
бути
you.
сьогодні тут присутніми, які у вас
What
є,
is a
можливо,
motivation for you to be
сподівання,
present
фантазії для того,
today?
щоб
What
ми в цю тему
hopes or
понирювали.
maybe fantasies you have about us diving in this topic?
Ви поставили це як за запитання, щоб дати вам зворотній зв'язок. Правильно я почув?
So
So
are
do we
you
understand
want to
correctly
collect
that this is
feedback with
about the
this?
feedback,
Тут
right? We should treat
привабило в цій
this
темі.
question as a
Yes,
question
what
of feedback.
exactly
So what
did it interest you?
attracted you in this topic? My name is Alexander. Good day. I'm from the city of
Нагадує те, що
Kiev.
крім того, що я психолог-психотерапевт, я розумію, що
This
мене більшість не
topic
знає.
attracts me
Одна з
because,
моїх
except
лекцій
for I
була
am
присвячена
for me
якраз
being
якраз
psychologist and
певному
psychotherapist, I know that the majority of
аналізу,
people do not know me.
розумінню
But
кого я.
one of my master
Я
degrees was
закінчував свого
dedicated
часу
to
університет
the
Карпенка-Карого, і якраз от
understanding
тема
of the heroism, and I graduated
транскультуральна
from the
тема розуміння
University
героїв за
of
останню
named after
100
Karpenko
років.
Kari,
І в
and I
даному
looked
випадку,
into
як
the understanding of the
іменують ці
hero throughout past
співпрацюючи з науковими
100
інститутами,
years, how
щоб
cinematography
зрозуміти,
was
яка
reacting onto that
тенденція
or was
взагалі
collaborating with the scientific
епідеміології чи навіть
institutes to
провинція
understand the
лідерства і що міняє цей етап.
technology, the development, the
Як
evolution of the
воно має
leadership, what we
бути
have
і
as
куди ми
for
рухаємося, куди намагається
today, what
поспішати
it
і
should
бути, так би
be, how
мовити,
it should look, and
от,
cinema tries
на
to
відстані.
run
І тому
forward
мені дуже цікаво, бо
and
ця
be
тема
kind
вона
of
дуже нагальна, щоб
predicting things,
зрозуміти
but this topic
і,
is really
власне,
important for me in order to understand
предмет, в якому
even
ми працюємо, і
the
майбутнє
topic
нашого
that
суспільства,
I am working
нашого
in, that we're
як
working in, and
психотерапевтів
also the
працювати
future
тощо.
of our
То
world
саме
where
ця
we
тема
live
мене
in
зацікавила, бо
and where
хочу
our children will
розширити
have to live. This topic
своє
is really
бачення і
interesting
розуміння.
for me, and I would like
Власне,
to
я
enlarge
можу
my
поділитися
vision
досвідом. Дякую вам за можливість
and
бути з вами.
my understanding. I
Так,
would like to
як
share
цікаво, ви
my
так,
thoughts.
ну,
So thank you so
і
much for
ваша
this.
тема дуже влучна,
This is
або
so
наша
curious.
тема
Your topic
влучна
is so
вашому вже
precise, or maybe
попередньому
our topic is
досвіду,
so
який вже
precise and corresponds with
кілька
your
років ви
previous
як фахівець
topic
з
of
різних, да,
research that you have been
напрямках її вивчаєте,
researching with the
тому нам
specialist of
буде
multiple
цікаво і дуже
dimensions, and it
корисно
will be very
довідатись
curious and
про
interesting
ті
for us
напрацювання,
to hear
дослідження,
about
які
your achievements, about
стали
your
результатом от
research
вашої
that
роботи.
resulted
Дякую,
in
що ви
your thorough
долучилися.
work. Thank you so much for joining us
Ці
today.
дослідження, вони
Those
стосувалися лише української
studies,
культури,
did they
чи
only
загалом
concern
це
Ukrainian
такі
culture
герої світового
or
рівня?
such
Дякую.
А ви мене
worldwide, world
чули
level,
мене зараз? Бачу, звук є, а картинки
Ні,
немає.
ні,
world
картинка
level
зникла. О, зараз.
heroes?
Це
The
взагалі
image is
все
here or the image
стосувалося
is back.
світової
That's
культури,
perfect.
тобто транскультуральний підхід,
The
тому що,
transcultural
так би мовити,
approach.
свого часу була написана книжка, така
Because back then there was
«Тисячолітній
a book
герой», та, і,
written,
можливо, ви про неї
the
колись чули. Це книжка «Основа для
1000
всіх
Faced Hero. This
сценаристів,
book is the
кінематографів,
basis
драматургів
for
американського
all
кіно,
the
яка є відслідкування
dramaturgs,
всієї
of
міфології,
all the
всіх
um,
так би надбання культурного, де взагалі
scriptwriters
герой з'являється і яким чином він постає. І
worldwide,
от
and it's about how
потім
the
я
hero
взяв за основу дослідження
appears and how
Ленгарда
he evolves, and then
як він називається,
I relied
акцентуйована
on
особистість,
the
щоб
accentuated
зрозуміти,
personality
побачити
work
взагалі
in
культури,
order
світової
to
культури в
see kind
дослідженні
of the cut
фактора
of the
героя, впливу
worldwide
героя
culture
на
about
сучасне
the
суспільство
study
і
of the
тенденції,
uh, um,
які нас очікують в майбутньому.
tendencies
Якщо говорити
of
українською,
the
це більше
heroes.
світове
So it's
надбання,
not only
розуміння.
about Ukrainian
Так. Я
perception
чому
of heroes,
перепитую?
it's
Тому
about the
що наша ідея, вона
worldwide,
в тому полягає.
um,
Такі зустрічі щомісяця ми
about
робимо,
the worldwide.
коли
And so why am
саме
I asking? Because we have
фахівці з
monthly
різних
meetings
країн можуть
where
долучитися і
specialists from
поділитися
different
своїм
countries can
таким
join us
насліддям, да,
and
культуральним,
share
щоб
their
збагатити один одного,
heritage, their cultural
що
heritage
є
to
в традиціях однієї
enrich one
країни, що в
another, what
іншої,
exists in
як
the
ми це
traditions of
можемо, да,
one
застосовувати, да,
country and the
зараз,
other
вже коли в
country,
нас
and
так
what
все
we can
формується, ця
utilize
міжкультуральна
and
ідентичність.
apply when this transcultural
То
identity is
саме
being
така
formed.
черга дійшла до
This is why now
образу героя, і
we
я відчуваю, що у
it's
вас
time
таке
for the
дуже
image
таке
of
міцне
hero, and I
підґрунтя є,
feel
тому
that
будемо
you have a
спиратися
very
на ваші
reliable
дослідження.
basis, so
Дякую.
we'll be relying onto your
Да.
research as well. Thank you
Так,
so
питання
much.
відкрите. Будь ласка,
Session
теж
is open.
долучайтеся до
Let's please join
нашого такого кола.
our
І
circle.
цікаво, хто сьогодні
It is
присутній,
really interesting who
хто
is
буде
present
приймати
today,
участь в цій
who will be
дискусії. Бачу, що
participating
є
in our
колеги так,
discussion.
з
I can see
України, з
that we have colleagues
Туреччини,
from Ukraine,
з
from
так,
Turkey,
знов таки, кого знаю тут, де наші
um,
колеги з України,
however, I
вони вже
know
в
some
інших
colleagues from
країнах
Ukraine who are
перебувають,
currently
тому, мабуть, і
are
не
being
мають такий
located in
досвід вже
other countries,
транскультуральний. А кому хочеться якусь таку
who
ще
wants
особливу, знаєте, лінію додати
to
в
add a
нашу сьогоднішню
special line
зустріч, будь
to
ласка,
our today's
да,
meeting.
є зараз така можливість.
There is currently a possibility to do so.
Якщо можна, там в
If
чаті,
possible,
я
in
його
the chat, I
бачу зараз чат.
I can see
Напишіть,
the
будь
chat.
ласка,
Please
хто
write down
звідки
in the
є,
chat who's from where,
щоб ми трошки розуміли географію
so that we
нашого
can better
сьогоднішнього
understand the geography of
заходу
our today's
і те, на
event,
які ми можемо культури спиратися, тому
and
що ми
which
теж
cultures
з
we can
Ганною
rely on during our discussion.
готували
Because when we were
сьогоднішню
preparing
зустріч, то ми
today's meeting
передбачали,
with
що,
Anna,
звісно,
we were
будуть
foreseeing that
колеги з
There we would have
країн,
colleagues
які
from
є
certain
членами
countries
асоціації
that are
психотерапевтичної
part of the
всесвітньої.
association of the
Можливо, нам
Worldwide
буде цікаво
Association of
там
Positive
трошки
Psychotherapy,
і
but
зануритися
maybe it
більше
will be
і в
interesting for
інших
us to
країнах,
dive
да,
deep
подосліджувати. Тому
into other
ми
countries
хотіли
to kind of study them,
передбачити
to kind of
так.
research them. So we kind of wanted to predict that.
Так. Добре, Польща, Італія,
Good. Poland, Italy,
так, Великобританія, Україна,
Great
Болгарія,
Britain,
е,
Ukraine,
Чехія.
Bulgaria, Czech
Чудово.
Republic,
Ну і, звісно, Польща.
and of course Poland.
Туреччина.
Turkey as
Ми ще
well.
казали. Тобто в нас
We
така
also mentioned
концентрація
Turkey
тут і
before,
є,
so we have this
і Росія.
concentration. We also have
Якраз в
Russia
нас
today.
і європейські, і є
We have
азіатські
European countries, also
країни.
Asian countries present today.
Можемо таку виборку зробити.
We can do that kind of
Добре.
selection.
Тоді давайте,
Good. Well,
можливо,
that's
перше,
maybe
що в нас
the first
стосується
thing.
саме національного рівня, так? Як
What
вважаєте,
concerns the
коли ми
national
цей
level,
образ
how
героя
do you think when
згадуємо,
this
то у
image of
вас
hero,
які свої образи
you remember
постають,
the
про
image of
кого ви
hero, what own images of yours do
так
you come
міркуєте?
into your mind, or do you consider?
І, до речі, можна тут приймати участь
And
не лише
here
там, хто внутрі
you can
певної
only
країни, що ви
participate not
знаєте,
only
да,
about
своїх
heroes
героїв,
within
а,
your own
звісно,
country.
герої на
It can
національному
also
рівні– це
be,
той,
of course, the
кого
heroes on
знають
the
і за
national
межами
level
його
are those
країни.
people that are known
Яку
outside
постать
of
ми
their
оберемо для
country. So,
дослідження першу?
which personality we will choose as the first
Хто б це
personality
міг
for the
бути?
study? Who could that be?
Ганна, будь ласка.
Yeah, Anna, please.
I had the idea, but we have many different heroes. I mean, these are people who get some monuments in our city, or streets or airports are named after them. For example, a living person is Lech Wałęsa. Walesa, I think that in English people understand when we pronounce like this. This is one of the examples. The Pope, John Paul II, by some considered as a very huge authority, by others very much condemned even. Now it's very hot discussion over this icon, I would say. We have also many of monuments of Jesus Christ. He's not Polish, and he has plenty of monuments, not only at churches, but in public places. Yeah. There is a sportsman, for example, Robert Lewandowski, playing in a Spanish football team recently.
Now that we've got her confirmed, I think that's the last piece that's.
But for discussion, we can choose Lech Walesa, let's say.
Так. Чому саме його?
He is still alive, as government changes in Poland during recent years. He is not taken out from the name, for example, of the airport. So it seems that people of different political options, even if they are not much with him, they are not so much against that they don't change the name of the Gdańsk airport. Yeah.
Ага, так, цікаво. І до цього ж процесу
That
так
is
само
really
відносить
curious. And
значний
to this
перелік у
process
назвах вулиці, площі і інших.
can um,
якщо
uh,
цей герой
after different
втомився,
heroes, because heroes define
незважаючи на такі різні часи, то можна сказати, що він
heroes also define their
високий
century,
недолик, такий
and
ваги, да, як
because
розглянути, що
that
саме
hero of yours
він таки
is still
має
in
в
the
своїх
names of the
рисах
important
та
places,
властивостях
means that
внутрішніх,
he
що
kind of
дають
outlived
йому ось це
his
визнання.
period because he is still very much renowned.
Yes, and he's also renowned abroad, I would say, and I think that he's so popular because he became popular in time of big change in Poland, as we turned into more democratic governance, let's say, and independent from the Eastern Soviet influences. And it was connected also with dialogue. So the qualities, there's kind of being the qualities that he represents are being courageous enough to stand for not only one's own interest, but the group. There is hope. Yeah.
Це якісь первинні, да, якості, я маю на увазі властивості. Primary capacities.
Those are just some primary qualities, primary capacities, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and this influenced a change. But there were plenty of people involved in this change, and he became kind of an icon. Yeah, because our former
Цікаво, чи
president,
можна ось його особу
It's really
поставити у приклад
curious whether
такого зараз
his personality can be placed as an
теперішньому поколінню, да?
example that current
Молодих
for
людей.
the current
В чому б саме
generation of
цей
young
приклад би
people,
був?
and what kind of example could that be?
mm, it depends, because I'm not sure if it is not a Polish characteristic that we are so good in doubt. That we say it depends, we are divided. Yeah, but he can be put as an example of taking risk, of standing for something that we believe in. He can also be put as an example of like a person of faith. Yeah.
Так.
And he is still involved in a democratic movement in our country. For recent about 10 years, we had problems with democracy. We are still in the process of like fighting for it. But after last year elections, it's not in so much danger. But before, a year prior, this person, Lech Wałęsa, was very much involved in pro-democratic movement. So even being quite old, he was still active in some social gatherings that aimed to promote democracy and to make people to stand for like freedom, I would say. So even, 30 years after, he's still involved in it. To get maybe not in the same team, but at the same front with our former president Aleksander Kwaśniewski, who is also a good example of democratic movement, but he was from different party. At that time, he was connected more with this left side of government, so not so much appreciated, and they are both pro-democratic now. And both were involved in this change in Poland 30 years ago. but I don't know if I doubt that Aleksander Kwaśniewski has monuments and that airport is named by him. Yeah. So you see that even 30 years after, Lech Wałęsa is still active and doing the same thing.
Цікаво, що все, що
It
ти
is really
розповідаєш,
curious that everything that you were
я якось
sharing,
це
I
хочу
somehow
підрезюмувати. Для мене
want to make a
патріот
short
він справді
resume.
пов'язаний з людиною,
For
яка
me, this image for me
захищає,
is about a person
виборює
who is
права людини,
protecting and
він такий
fighting for
борець
the
за
human
демократію
rights, right?
і за
Fighting for the
свободи.
democracy,
Це
uh,
яке таке визначне таке
fighting
гасло.
for the
Чи є
liberties.
якісь такі, можливо,
This is
там
an
цитати,
important
якими, як
slogan.
мото,
Maybe you have
які
certain
б ми могли
important
асоціювати з ним?
quotes of him, some maybe mottos that we could associate with his personality.
Yeah, somehow. And I still think that he's more popular abroad than within Poland. That among
Так.
young generation, maybe he is not an icon. There would be more like influencers, pop stars, sportsmen, maybe. Mhm. But this is his name that got the airport. There are some paintings on like big areas in the cities with his face. Yeah. It is about democracy and human rights. Mhm.
Да. Дякую.
Thank
Цікаво, я навіть думаю,
Thank you. That is
чи є
really
такі
curious.
подібні образи в
And I'm
інших
also
культурах.
thinking about whether
Ми вже почули,
other
що
cultures
співпадали ось цими
also have similar
чеснотами,
images
з цими
that would coincide
якостями,
in
які
terms of
є
in terms of qualities
основою
um,
для
that are the basis
даного
of
прикладу. Хто
this
міг ще
example that
додати
Anna gave us,
такого ж,
who
не
could have
особливо, не
also
обов'язково це буде політичний
given
діяч,
some other examples from their
але
cultures.
можливо,
It should not necessarily be
все ж таки
a
постать дуже
politician,
визначна
a policymaker,
в
but it
своїй
should be
культурі.
also someone really important for your culture, in their culture.
От про українських лідерів, які б могли бути
Talking about Ukrainian
насправді
leaders
зараз
that could
співвідносні
could
з
correlate
цим
with
образом.
this image.
Добрий вечір.
Добрий вечір.
Мене
Good
звати
evening.
Таня,
My name is Tanya.
Україна, Тернопіль.
I'm from
Знаєте,
Ukraine,
так
from
слухала
Ternopil, and while I was
і думаю так про
listening,
пам'ятники,
I
які
was
є
thinking
там в
about
моєму місті,
monuments
так
that exist
попередня
in my
спікерка
city.
говорила.
As
Думаю,
the
це так
previous
важливо, та що
speaker has
предків
mentioned, that
вшановують.
it is important
І
that the memory
усвідомила,
of
що у нас в
people
місті два
is being
пам'ятники
cherished.
таких
And I thought that we have
потужних, та це
important
Степанові Бандері
monumental
і
monuments in
Соломії
our city
Крушельницькій.
to Stepan Bandera and to
Така
Solomia
жінка теж
Krushelnitska. She is a woman
непересічна і
who
теж
is
міркувала
no
собі
ordinary
про
woman. She was
культурних
also
героїв.
thinking
Не
about
тільки так
I was also thinking to
політичних,
myself
теж
about
якось мені дуже
cultural
це
heroes, not only
відгукнулося.
about political
І
leaders.
тих, хто
It
через свою
also spoke to me.
творчість,
I thought about
і
those
напевно,
who,
життям
through
так
their own
сповідує.
culture,
І спогадом про
through their own
Соломію
artistry,
Крушельницьку,
through
яку
their
теж
own
так знав весь світ,
life,
як оперну
kind of
співачку
transmit
і
that.
також
I thought
сумирну
about
педагогу.
Solomia Krushelnitska, that
І в
opera
контексті
singer,
цього, знаєте, мені стало дуже якось так,
and
мабуть,
in the
прикро,
context of
бо
this,
ми лише зараз
I
своїх
got
героїв
so sad
починаємо
because
помічати
we only now
і
start to
якось,
notice our heroes.
наче таке лушпиння з цибулі, та
As if, you
забираємо
know, we parts,
розшарування там чи
as if we were
радянської
cleaning off the
пропаганди, чи
external
того, як
parts of the
сприймали наших
onion,
героїв
right?
різні
The
транслювали.
Soviet one,
І
like the way that our
думала далі
heroes
собі, так
used to
знаєте,
be
подумала про
communicated.
Івана
I also
Багряного,
thought to
якого
myself
краще не
about Ivan
забула.
Bagriani,
Ми
who
десь
is
тільки зараз починаємо
way more
осягати
popular
велич
abroad
цієї
than in
людини,
Ukraine, where we now start to
яка
realize
ну
the
так на своєму
importance of that
досвіді
person, who
мала
on
і
his
зіткнення
own
і втечі
experience
з
was sent to
російських
the
таборів,
camps.
який
He
все
ran away
описав.
from
Так, у нас
Russian
є
camps, and
прекрасні
he
книги
described it in his
Тигролови,
beautiful books. We
Олександр
have
Гециманський, і я знаю, що вони в
beautiful books
перекладі за кордоном
such as
ну так були
Tiger Catchers
доступніші,
or Tiger Hunters,
давніше, ніж в
also
Україні. І це такий феномен,
the
знайомства
garden,
з своєю
and
культурою, з
they
тими
were way more
героями, які були,
available abroad
наприклад,
in
ми довгий
translation
час
than
просто не
in
знали.
our country for a very long
Ось.
time.
І,
And then he was
і в мене зараз так
rediscovered after
в контексті
independence.
цієї теми
And in
багато
the
якогось
context of
такого
this topic,
з одного боку жалю,
on one
а з
hand,
іншого
I am
боку, напевно,
sad
такої тихої
and
радості,
I'm
що ми
grieving. And
маємо
on the other hand, I have
щось
this
як пізнання.
silent
І я
happiness
думаю, що я
about the
отримала дуже
possibility, the
багато задоволення,
chance
коли я
to
прочитала це,
discover those
вони
people, because
надзвичайно
I got so
надихаючі.
mesmerized when I got
Це
a chance
дійсно
to
такий
read
шлях
those books.
героя,
They are really
це
inspiring.
шлях
This is truly about the path
людини,
of
яка
the
ну,
hero,
так долає,
the
і дуже
path
круто,
of the
що автор сам
person who
пережив ці речі,
overcomes
та
things.
він
And it is
не просто
so cool
вифантазував
that this
цього
person
ліричного героя.
really
Це та
lived
частина
through
досвіду, і
those
напевно,
experiences.
в
He did not
контексті
only
цієї
fantasize about that
ситуації з війною,
or
яка
the
є зараз,
characters
це
in
дуже
his books, he
надихаюче.
really experienced that. And in
Так, знаєте,
correlation
собі
with current war,
обміркувала, бо я
it is
вперше
something that
доєднуюся до цих
inspires.
зустрічей, і подумала,
And
теж так
it is my
цікаво,
first
чому
time
саме з
joining your
цією
meeting
темою,
today. And I
чому
was
саме
I asked
на
myself,
цю
why
тему
did I
мені так
join your
відгукнулося, і,
meetings
мабуть,
for
це
the
теж про
first time
пошук
on this
тих
topic?
опор,
And I think
щоб
it's maybe about
внутрішнього
searching for
свого героя підтримати.
reliances in order to support
Дякую.
my inner hero. So
Цікаво, да,
thank
про
you so
внутрішнього
much.
героя
Yes,
згадали.
this is so curious. You remembered
Але
about
ж
the
він
inner
теж
hero,
має
but
певні
the
якості,
inner
да,
hero
риси, і
also
він
has
бере
certain
приклад, да, ось
characteristics,
цих
certain features,
героїв, які
certain capacities
відгукуються
that take from
вам особисто. І
those
якби
heroes that
ці
speak to you
зараз
personally.
ми могли ще раз
If
повернутися
we
до цих
could
послухів, які
go
ви
back
зазначили,
to
то
those personalities
які
that were
там
stated
якості
by
особливо
you,
можна
what
було б виділити?
qualities
Або
of
якби
them
говорити
could
мовою
be
позитивної
underlined?
психотерапії,
If we
про
speak
актуальні
with the
здібності,
language of
що
positive
більше
psychotherapy,
приваблює,
what
на
actual
чому
capacities
зупиняється
mostly
погляд?
attract in
Знаєте,
those
напевно, на
people? What stops,
вірності.
what catches your eye?
В якому
Probably,
контексті?
um,
Чому?
Вірність собі, своїм переконанням,
probably
вірність
about staying true to
правді,
yourself, staying true
вірність ідеям.
to
Так,
the
бо
truth,
ну, правда,
staying
це такі
true
постаті, про які
to
ми маємо дуже
the
суперечливі такі дані. Знаєте,
ideals,
там, наприклад, якщо
stay
брати дуже
true to
контроверсійну
your
постать
country.
Степан
And if we
Бандера,
take a
то
very
дуже цікаво, що
controversial
його працю
character,
мало хто читав,
personality
але
of
всі
Stepan
знають про
Bandera,
нього
it
якісь
is very
такі
curious
там
that
речі,
very few people
які
read
є ну,
his
в
work,
зовнішньому світі,
but
так,
a
що
lot of
про
people know
нього, не
about,
що він сам
like,
говорив.
ideas about him exist in the
Ну, і от це
external
теж так
world.
цікаво, пробути вірним
And
собі, коли навколо
many
є
people
дуже
have ideas about
багато
what he was saying and what he was doing. So
обману,
it is
дуже
really
багато
curious how
неправди.
there might be a lot of
Вміти залишатись на цьому.
lies, a lot of non-truth
І
in this
вірність
world.
ідеї, мабуть, також
So for me,
вірність батьківщині, тому що якщо ми говоримо,
uh,
я так собі
the main
думаю
actual
про Івана
capacity is
Багряного, то
about
він
staying
ж
true to
після
yourself and
втечі з
staying
таборів
true to
він
your
виїхав за
motherland, because
кордон,
Ivan
але він не
Bagriani,
припинив
after
своєї
running away,
діяльності, і
escaping
він
from
дуже
camp,
багато
he moved abroad.
на культурному
But
фронті,
he
так,
was working a lot on the
зараз воно таке виявилося,
cultural
але це
front.
була правда
It is
так.
a very commonly
І оця
used
така підтримка
sentence these days,
і,
the
ну, знаєте,
cultural front.
послідовність
However, at the time, it was something very important,
своїм
and he
ідеям.
was very
Мабуть, вірність це буде
consecutive
ключовим.
and methodical
А мені ще відгукується і
and
віра,
sorrow.
і
And what
вірність,
speaks to me
да? Тут,
also
щоб
the
і
faith
такої, да,
and
ідеї,
being
яку зазначили,
faithful,
да,
right?
про саму
The
ідею,
idea
і
that
про
you
певну таку силу
shared
духу,
about the idea and the
яка
strength of the
давала змогу
character,
вистоювати в
strength
будь-яких
of the
викликах, да,
soul,
того
about
часу, який потрібно було
outstanding
подолати.
the
Тобто
challenges of the
він
times.
загартовувався той дух.
So
І то
this
був
is where the
приклад такий.
soul
Да,
was
він
getting
є таким
stronger,
прикладом,
and this is still an example for us.
щоб його підтримувати. Да,
that
приймається.
we
Красиво
might
дуже.
follow
Дякую.
about the strength of
Дякую,
your soul,
що згадали навіть ці
strength of your
фрагменти,
gut.
не
Thank you so
зазначили. А
much
я
for
пошукала
giving the
трошки
names.
в
I did a little
да, і за
research on the
даними
Google, and according to
опитування
the data
минулого року
of the
чи
questionnaire of the survey last year,
позаминулого,
or
першу
maybe
трійку
the year
таких
before,
славнозвісних національних
first
героїв
three
українських
national
очолюють
heroes of
такі
Ukraine
діячі, і
are
ви, мабуть, так я зараз скажу,
very
тому що вони на
important
загал відомі.
people that are probably
Всесвітові
known
це
to
Тарас
worldwide.
Шевченко,
These are
звісно,
Taras
він поет,
Shevchenko, of course, the
і
poet,
такий культурний і
and a
політичний діяч, вже
cultural
можна про
and
це казати.
political
Леся
activist,
Українка
also Lesa
і
Ukrainka
Богдан Хмельницький.
and
А
Bogdan
далі вже
Khmelnytsky.
до
And then
наших сучасних там
to our
йде
more
розширення і
contemporary
про першу
characters and
десятку,
heroes,
двадцятку.
the first 10 of
Ну і
them, the
все ж
first
таки найбільш там
20
перевага
of them.
залишається за цими
So,
трьома. І ось
but those three are the ones
про те, що ми
dominating
зараз говорили,
the
да, ось
perception
ці
and what we
якості,
were
вони теж
discussing, those
тут
qualities.
мають своє
They
місце
have
про
their own
вірність,
space
да,
about
вірність
being
такому
faithful
своїй ідеї, своїй
to
думці,
your
своєму народу,
idea, to
можна
your
сказати, тому
thoughts,
що
to your
а,
people.
багато перепон було в ті
Because
часи, коли
there were a lot
потрібно
of
було да,
obstacles at the
відстояти
times
і
where when it
якось
was
свої
necessary
культури
to
і
protect your culture
доносити,
and to
якось таку мить передавати. Тому
transmit and
без
communicate the
цього,
moment, the historical
мабуть,
moment.
би
And without that,
не було б в нас,
there
да, ось
probably
цієї
we would probably not have
тієї
that
якості, яку ми можемо
quality
зараз нашої
that we
культури
can currently
визначати,
describe
і
as
як ми
an
можемо ось
important
це слово, да,
feature of
мабуть,
our culture
українську
uh, about
плекати. Тому
about
насправді
Ukraine
ця
and
трійка,
how
вона залишиться назавжди.
cherish
А
Ukraine.
ось
So those
теперішні
three people,
сучасні
they will
наші
stay forever.
герої,
However,
що
our
вони додають
contemporary
нам до
heroes,
цього? А
what
ми
they
зараз
add up to
то
this,
випробування
because
маємо,
we
як ми
all have
збережемо, як
this
ми ось ці
challenge about
кіслівки,
how we
які
will
були нашими,
preserve
да,
those qualities
предниками
that used to be
визначення, як ця сила
preserved and
духу, як
identified by our
ця
predecessors,
міцність,
such as
як
the
подолання, як ми
strength of the
зможемо це
soul,
пронести. І
about that
чи
strength,
справді
about
ось
overcoming.
ці
How
риси
can we
потрібні
overcome
нам
things? And those are the
зараз
features, the capacities
зміцнювати,
that we
або
really
щось
need
є,
to
що може
enhance right now.
збалансувати
Or maybe there is
їх
something that can
і
balance this
показати
out
іншу сторону,
and
більш
show a
гармонічну,
different
щоб ми
facet, a different
набули
side, a
цілісність,
more
а не стали
harmonious one,
якимись такими
so
да,
that
визначними саме в
we
цьому
are
напрямку.
we would be
Чи
able
є ще приклади,
to
які б, наприклад, були б для нас
more in one piece and
взірцем?
not developing only on one side. Maybe you have other examples.
Ну, да, дійсно.
Yes, that's
Відстоювання своїх
true.
прав, своїх інтересів,
Standing up for
національної
your
гідності,
rights, for your
але на
interests,
той
for the
час і
national dignity,
таким
but at the time,
своєрідним, знаєте,
a
послом миру,
particular ambassador of the
для того, щоб
peace,
це було ненасильницьким способом.
being the ambassador of
Це
the peace, so
правда.
that it would not be
Тому
done
через культуру,
through
через
violence.
слово, да,
So we
через
need to do that through culture, through
мистецтво
words,
це
through art.
найкращий спосіб,
This is
мабуть. Тому
probably the
культурні
best
діячі,
way to
вони
do it.
стають національними
This is
героями.
why cultural
Десь так.
practitioners are the ones that become national heroes.
Да. Можливо, хтось ще хоче щось
Maybe someone
додати
else would love to add something
до цих образів,
to those images that we
або
have already
з іншої
listed,
культури.
or maybe from
Поділіться,
other
будь ласка,
cultures. Please share,
колеги.
dearest colleagues.
Так. Дара, Лука.
Yes, Raluca. Raluca, we don't hear you. I'm really sorry. Still no, still don't hear you.
Are you on general channel, Sonia, or Ukrainian translation?
I am listening to the general audio and I am translating into Ukrainian channel.
I will check now. I have not heard any translation on Ukrainian channel. I will- Oh,
Raluca, can you see?
ага, зрозуміла. Добре. А я вже трошки. Нема звуку.
Yes, unfortunately, we do not hear you, Raluca, for some reason, but we really want to
But
hear
you
you.
know what? Ah, maybe she will fix it.
No sounds. It's not was not connected with translation. It's
Yeah,
with original
yeah.
sound. Mhm.
I know. Oh. Raluca, you can call me on WhatsApp and I will put it loud.
Mhm.
I think that she will connect again, reconnect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. You guys.
Доброго дня.
Good day.
Чути мене?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Я подумала про
I
те,
thought
що ми говоримо
about
про героїв
that we're
більш
talking about
зв'язано
heroes,
з впливом
mostly in
на
connection with
країну,
the influence
захист
on the
людей, а в
protection
мене в
of
голові
people. And in my
інший тип
head,
героїв,
I have a different kind of heroes.
наприклад, як
For
Мати
example,
Тереза.
such as Mother
Тобто
Teresa.
якось мені зв'язалося з самопожертвою, здатністю піклуватися про
For
інших
me, it was
людей,
about
з
the
вірою.
capacity to care about other
І
people, about
подумала про
sacrificing
те,
yourself, about
чи
faith.
є взагалі
Um,
герой, який
and I thought about
буде
whether there
однозначно
is
героєм
a
для
hero
всіх.
that can be
Бо
100%
це
a hero
залежить
for
від
all,
потреб
because it depends on
певного
the needs
шару
of
населення
a
або певних
certain
умов.
part of
Для
population,
мене
certain
зараз в Україні
conditions. For me,
волонтери це
currently, the
герої.
volunteers
Бо
are the
ці
heroes,
люди
because those
на
are the
своїх
people
спинах носять
that
багато чого
carry
і,
a lot of things on their
і не
backs,
жаліються.
and
Або
they
якщо
never
жаліються,
complain.
то роблять
Because
це
if
там
they
між
complain, if
собою.
they do complain, they
Вони
do it
встають і
between
знову щось
themselves, and then they
роблять
stand
для,
up again
для
and
того, щоб
they do
покращити
something
ситуацію.
again to
І
change the
точно
situation
герой
for the
це
better.
миротворець.
And
Так
also
я
the
це бачу.
peacemaker for me is a
Тому
hero,
більш в такому
peacekeeper.
напрямку
In a
мені
so for
здається.
me, the topic of heroes is kind of
Подумала
about
про,
that direction,
якщо
that
говорити
area.
про
And I also
українських
thought
героїв в моєму
from the
розумінні.
point of
Наприклад,
Ukrainian
це для мене ще
heroes,
Ліна
in my
Костенко.
understanding, it's also about Lina Kostenko,
Поетеса,
a poet
яка несе
who
мир, яка
carries
несе добро, яка
peace
несе таку
and
культуральну
good and cultural
традицію, цілісність,
tradition,
про
the cultural
щось мені
complexity.
таке більш жіноче
For
зараз в
me,
голові.
it's more about
І знов
a
таки через те,
female
що йде
image.
крізь декілька
And once
поколінь, бо
again,
вона ще
something that's being communicated
да,
through many
ще з тієї
generations
епохи належить.
because she belongs
Це,
to
для
the
мене
silver
неймовірні
age.
такі люди.
And those
Що
people are
вміють так через слово
truly amazing people that
передати всі
are
почуття,
capable to
які зараз
communicate all the
відчувають там
feelings through the
багато
words,
яких шарів населення, і
those feelings
одночасно
that are
це
being
передати ще
experienced
й
by
надію.
many representatives
І
of
знаєш, що я
population
подумала,
and do it very
якщо
precisely.
ми говоримо,
And I
що
also
тут
thought about if
дійсно
we
задіяні
speak
більше
about
первинні здібності,
primary
багато про
capacities
любов.
being mostly in place, it is a lot about love.
Любов, прийняття.
Love, acceptance.
Я можу сказати те,
I
що
can
все,
say
що визначає всіх героїв, так це
that
їхня
all that
сміливість,
defines
правда?
heroes is
Або через слово,
their
або через дії,
bravery,
все ж таки
their
виразити
words,
те, що є
bravery of
ось
acts,
тою правдою, що йде від
about
всередини, так, від
standing
такого
true to that
глибинного
truth,
контакту з
something
собою,
coming
і
from
те,
a
що
profound contact with oneself,
відгукується іншим. Але,
and
мабуть, в
something
них
that
ще
speaks
поки
to
немає тої
others.
готовності про
But
це говорити
probably
або
others might
проявляти.
not
І
have the
тому
readiness to
герой,
communicate
він
that
наче
yet,
є тим
and this is why a hero
рупором цього
is that kind of
колективного, да? Підсвідомого
speaker
або навіть
of that
свідомого
collective
процесу.
subconscious, or
Це,
maybe unconscious, even a conscious
Ні,
process.
будь ласка. Да.
Yeah, I'm
це
sorry,
наче
sorry. It's
є
something
такий
like
внутрішній компас,
there is
я
that
точно
inner
відчуваю
compass
щось так, і там
that
нічого
I feel like that,
може порушити це
and there is nothing
внутрішнє
that can
відчуття.
bother
Для
that
мене
inner
ця
feeling.
сміливість виглядає
So
так.
that bravery looks for me like that. This is the
Я
metaphor
справді
for the inner
подумала
bravery.
зараз про те,
I
що
also thought right now
взагалі
about
просто герой, він може існувати як
hero
такий на структурному
that can
рівні,
exist
як
on a
цілісне
structural
таке
level.
поняття,
It's
то,
also a
мабуть,
very complex
не
notion.
може існувати без
Hero
тих
can
людей,
probably
які
not
дійсно його
exist without people
підносять
who
до
are
цього статусу героя. Да? Тобто,
cheering for him.
люди роблять або вбачають в
People
ньому ось цю
are seeing
сміливість,
that
цю відвагу,
bravery
да, яку
in a
він
hero
спромовляє і або діє, і
that
це
he
підкреслює,
communicates, that
підтримують, і
he
тоді
acts
воно
with.
відбувається.
And
Тому,
this is
мабуть,
when
це
that
дійсно
those acts
колективний
happen.
процес.
And I believe that
От той
making
процес,
heroes is
да?
a collective
Інакше
process.
як буде герой.
Otherwise, there would be
Має
no
бути
hero.
признання, і я
He
подумала,
needs to be
кожний вкладає
accepted as
час
a
по
hero,
своїй
and
вірі,
everyone
Мгм.
inputs
а
the
він
time into their own faith.
цю віру може поєднати і може
And
десь
hero is someone that can unite all of that faith and carry it further to
Цікаво,
make
дякую.
something of it.
Дякую.
У нас
That's
інсайт
really
такий
interesting
смачний.
point. Thank you so much. We have
Да.
very
Будь
tasty
ласка,
insights now.
Ралука,
Please,
як
Raluca,
ти зараз
did we
вже
resolve the
є
sound
звук?
thing? Can we hear you now?
Чуємо вже Ралуку?
Can we hear Raluca?
Зараз перейду на інший канал, бо
Now Katya will go to a different channel and try to hear Raluca there, maybe.
something
Phone
interesting
WhatsApp.
happened.
I will put you loud.
Oh, so can you hear me though?
Yes,
Yeah.
I hear you now.
Victory.
You are a hero.
No, I don't know what's happening with my laptop, but anyway.
Congratulations on your perseverance.
Yes.
It was so late.
I was thinking about heroes, and related to what Katya, what you're saying, that people need to accept you as a hero, to be a hero. It's a system thing. So growing up in Romania, I've learned that Romania was a hero in World War II when on the 23rd of August, we turned the guns against Germany and we supported the Allies in the war. And this is why the war was won by the Allies. Yeah, so this is the story that all Romanians know. We celebrate this. It's a huge celebration. We are all heroes. We are Romania. I moved to the UK and my son learns that we were supporting Germany. So we were part of the Axis. We were never allies. Our role was insignificant in the war. So we're not heroes, the heroes that we thought we are. And if you listen to all, I don't know, American interpretations of what happened in the World War II, United States saved the world, yes, because of their input. They are the heroes of the world. And the same thing in the UK, because UK kind of fought really hard. They are the heroes of the world. So I guess, it's a question of perspective, what a hero is. It's very difficult to kind of agree on. We had this march here in the UK, Black Lives Matters, and a lot of the statues that we have, Anna, you were talking about statues, and that kind of brought to mind this idea of we had a lot of statues of explorers, of people who went into the world and explored the world and kind of opened the world up for the UK. Of course, United Kingdom was a power 100 years ago, kind of conquered half the world. But they were worshipped as heroes and seen as heroes. There were buildings named after them, streets, universities, and etc. And after this Black Lives Matters march, a lot of their statues were taken down because actually they were also slave traders in the background. That's why they had money to travel the world. So a lot of things then changed. And then a question that we had in my friends group, for example, which is a mixed race friends group, was should those statues be taken down, or should we have an explanation on the statue going, yes, they did this thing, but they also were slave traders. They also did horrible things. Are they still heroes? I don't know. You choose, you decide. So that was a question that kind of we discussed. And I guess in terms of what the biggest hero of the United Kingdom is Winston Churchill. He continues to be, the man who saved Great Britain and the world. But the reality is he was a racist, like severely so. If you read his speeches, they are cringy. He was a misogyn. He would disregard women. He didn't believe that using toxic gas in war is a thing, it's a bad thing. He believed, he was convinced about the superiority of the British race, which, living in the UK, they still have this feeling, this entitlement of, oh, we're better than everybody else. Thank you very much. That's still in the area. It's not spoken. People are very polite. But there's this undercurrent of, we're just a little bit better than anybody else, hence Brexit and everything else. So I guess, I don't know, I was thinking about what capacities there are. Think definitely trust in oneself's abilities. But there's also diligence, reliability. These things are very important. And all these kind of leaders have shown that they are willing to work hard. And I think that's, if you want, these are the kind of two maybe capacities that come up, when I think about British heroes. Generally now, in the modern days, there isn't one person worshipped, or we worship the national healthcare system heroes. We worship the English football team. We worship the sports personalities. Beckham, he's a hero. Yeah, not so much political figures, though. Everybody agrees they're bad. But, it's interesting how heroes come and go, and just because you're hero once doesn't mean you're going to be a hero forever, or from somebody else's perspective, you might be a villain and not a savior. I'm pretty sure that people in Africa and India do not look at Churchill and go, great guy. So just a question of perspective, who the hero is, and time.
Да. Важливі такі ремарки. І
Yes, those are very
насправді
important
і часто
remarks.
питання, і
It's
питання
the
оцієї
matter of
культури,
time.
з якої
It's the matter of
відбувається
culture.
це визнання.
From preach that cherishing happens, and that community that I noticed amongst that around that hero, right? Those qualities, let's say brave and decisive, and faithful, and other characteristics of that personality become kind of hidden, right? As we were talking about, as you have just mentioned about Churchill, there are a lot of buts in here. And it's about the community that creates the hero, kind of the followers, the preachers, and the point of view, and that propaganda, who is a hero for whom? And the perception of heroes can be really polarized, and this is something that can polarize the society. And speaking about Churchill, I immediately remembered about Mahatma Gandhi, who was even practicing that way of being non-violent, that was called satyagraha, to be resistant and to resist, but non-violently, and still be truthful, but kind of polite in a way, to show that example that that things can happen without destruction. And we remember that those leaders, such as Mahatma Gandhi, Mahatma translates as big soul, actually. It's not a name, it's kind of his nickname that was given to him, and then he became a personality known worldwide thanks to the idea that he was promoting, and what you was also mentioning about other that such examples of something utopic at the time, kind of announced, it was still supported and it still gave some fruits. And sometimes things were contradictory, but with certain support, they had some force to them. So community is really important. And the capacity to see differences and unite them somehow. That all the leaders, they become valuable when they are capable of not only underlining national topics, but when they're capable of giving ideas that would be perceived worldwide in the same way. So they would speak not only to a certain community, but to the whole world. What leaders of such come to your mind? That would be really curious to know. Those who are not the ones building walls, as Bashar Bezeshkan used to say, but the ones that are building bridges between cultures. Maybe Nusrat Pezeshkan is one of those leaders. And yeah, we have already mentioned his quote. There are a lot of activists and leaders like that. They were perceived as perceived by UN as people who made contribution to the worldwide population. And probably our professor, the professor himself, in the last years of his life, he was nominated as a laureate of the Nobel Prize, and he was also the ambassador of the UN because he was doing a lot of things on the level of cultures.
I was very curious, Anna, about what you said, about John Paul, John Paul II, that's the English name of the Pope, because in Romania and even here in the UK, he's worshipped as a hero. And it was very curious to hear that he's not in Poland. That would be somebody who did a lot for world peace. He
Yes,
traveled to places where nobody would go.
yes, he did much for peace, and also we Polish nation consider that he did much for us to become more democratic. He gave a lot of hope, and I think that it is because we consider him as our own. He was somebody superior in the church in all this hierarchy. I don't know how to pronounce it. And
Hierarchy.
recently, some bad things got uncovered connected with pedophilia in church, and there are proofs that he had known this and did nothing, and this is why many people disregard him. This is why for many he is very big authority, and for the others not at all. And for some he got out of the pedestal. Yeah. That's the case now. So it is again about time, about perspective.
Да.
But they don't destroy monuments and statues with John Paul II.
Так. Цікаво. Я згадала, що
That is
там
really
в Києві, де я
interesting. I remember that in
мешкала
Kiev, where I
поруч
used to
з
live,
однією площею, то
by one of
була
the
вулиця, яка зараз
by
перейменована,
one
але вона
of
на
the
ім'я Карла
squares
Ліпкнехта.
that
Ні, Патріса
street
Лумумби.
was
Патріса
recently
Лумумби.
renamed. It
Але
used to be
зараз
named
це
after
якраз
Patrice
вулиця
Lumumba, and
Іоанна Павла
now
II.
it is the street named
Два роки як. Ні,
after
вже трошки більше.
Pope John Paul II, and it was renamed,
Якраз
I
це і
guess,
відбувається.
around
Це, до
2
речі,
years ago.
такий
So this
великий
is a process
інструмент
that is
пропаганди
taking
так
place.
само
So
ось
it is a big instrument of propaganda
перейменовувати
to be renaming
вулиці і
streets
навіть міста.
and even cities,
У нас знов-таки зміна епох, тому я
because this is
пам'ятаю,
the
коли
change of
любили
centuries.
ходити
And I
в
remember
Києві в
I
музей
used to love to go to the
мистецтва
museum in Kiev,
і
the arts
бачила так
museum
у
in
віконечку
Kiev,
у дворі
and
були
I
пам'ятники
used to see
зложені,
that there
такі
were
розкладені ті,
old
які вже
monuments
знесено.
that were
Там були
placed in the
Миколи
garden
II,
of
ще якихось таких міністрів часів, царських часів,
Tsar
царської Росії. От,
Nicholas
і
II and some ministers
зараз
and
серед них
like
дуже
governors
багато
from
є
the
таких, які
Russian
спочивають
Empire.
теж
So
у
there are a
цьому
lot of
задньому дворику,
monuments like that
але ті, що
kind of
були
relax and chill in
пов'язані з
that
радянською епохою.
backyard of the museum,
Отже,
and also a lot of
можна
other
через
monuments that are
пам'ятники
connected with
побачити,
the
як ці
Soviet
часи
period.
змінюються,
So
як
through those
знов-таки
monuments
спільнота
resting,
підносить, да,
you can see
певного героя,
times
да,
change and
як
how
потім
certain
його
communities
зсуває з цього
cherish
п'єдесталу.
certain heroes and how then those heroes are getting
Ви знаєте, мені
Я
removed from their
я перепрошую, я не знала, чи
monuments.
ви закінчили, але
Будь ласка, да.
думаю, знаєте, дуже мені
I'm really
відгукується
sorry for
це
interrupting you. I didn't know if you have finished
про
your thought. Yes, this is something that actually
про
speaks
тих
to
людей,
me a lot
які
about
якось так
those
вірні собі
people
і вірні людяності
who are
собі.
true to
І
themselves and
якщо
who
ми
are
там
true
говоримо
to
про
the
Івана Павла II,
humanity.
це також
If we
велика
talk
постать для
about
українців,
John Paul
для
II, it's
частини
also a big
католицького світу,
personality for
греко-католиків,
some part of Ukrainian
незважаючи там,
population, for the
що так
Catholics
можуть
of
постійно
Ukraine.
появлятися нові якісь
And there will probably
історії,
be
відкриватися,
new
ця
stories that
історична
will get
правда
uncovered,
і
the
контексти,
historical
так
truth
ми
and
переоцінюємо
context.
щось.
We are
І знаєте, теж так
re-evaluating them.
міркую про ще одну
But I'm
постать
also thinking about
українську,
another
це
personality
Андрей
of
Шептицький.
Ukraine. This is
Це
Andrei
також
Sheptytsky.
людина,
This is a person
так дуже довгий час займав найвищий
for a
титул
very
в
long
Українській
time.
греко-католицькій церкві.
He
Але він удостоєний
who had the
звання
highest
праведника світу.
position
Він рятував
in
євреїв
the
під час Другої
in
світової війни.
Ukrainian Catholic
І
Church,
думаю,
and
оце,
he got
знаєте,
the
не
name
про
of the truth maker of the world because he was saving Jews during the Second World War. And it's about that humanity, that humility that exists in the heart, that you dedicate everything to saving other people. So for me, it is about those volunteers, those heroes who unite and protect that inner peace and that highest value of human life. This is how I remembered of that characteristics.
Да,
Thank you so
дякую.
much. Thank you so much.
Теж і Саймон ще побачила тут нам зазначив
I
тут
also
про
saw
те, що
comment from
таким самим,
Simon
можливо, світовим діячем,
about
да,
Sure,
як,
yes.
Probably
Um,
worldwide
будь
leader.
ласка.
There you go, Simon. Please, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. I was thinking about, I am part of a very small community. We are about 30,000, and it's an ethnical minority here in the Alps. So actually, we don't have many heroes. I think in the generations before me, I think they had that was a time where the Catholic religion was very present, had a big role in in my country, and so I think actually the heroes were the saints. So all the saints are heroes, and in my community, in my ethnical group, there is one saint. His name is Pater Užup Frena de Metz. He was a missionary in the 19th century. He went to China and stood there for all his life. And maybe he could be one of our heroes. But I think all the saints, for those who for those who are religious, are sorts of heroes. The question is what these saints became in nowadays, because I think uh, there was a big change here in my country. My ancestors were very poor. Now the society is very wealthy, and I think there is a new hero that and the saints and the religious heroes got in shadow, and these new heroes are all those who make a lot of money. That's a little bit what I look when I see all the people, and it doesn't matter how they do all this money, but they are heroes for many of people, and I think we should. It makes me laugh a little bit, but actually it's very sad. Um, um, so that's a little bit provoking what I say, but I think there is a little bit of truth in it. So in this wealthy Western Europe, economies is like a new religion with their heroes. We could talk about that.
Yeah.
Це точно.
Yes,
Дякую. І
that is for
справді,
sure. Thank you
ось
so much.
я так розумію, що ми
I
трошки
understand
торкнулися
that we touched the topic
культури всіх.
of
Я вдячна
culture
колегам, які
of
таку
all
активну
of
участь
our
прийняли і
colleagues present
поділилися
today. I'm
своїми
really grateful to
ось
you
цими
for
образами.
sharing
До
those
речі,
images
слово
of
образ, да,
yours
і таке
and the
чисто
word
образування
image.
як освіта, вони однокореневі, тобто воно
And
від
in
того
Russian
не
language,
залежить.
image actually
Образотворче
has the
мистецтво, воно
same
так само з
um,
образів складається.
root
Тобто
as the
етіологія
word
слова,
education.
вона
And the
єдине, що
etiology
дуже
of the
багато
word in
образів
Russian
мають
language, it's all
В
about
нашому
images. So education is all about
в
images in
нашому
Russian language.
внутрішньому світі, да,
And
як він
images
складається.
actually play a key
Хотілося б
role in our
також
inner
дізнатися
world.
від наших турецьких
I also
колег,
wanted to ask our Turkish
які у
colleagues,
вас є
what
національні герої,
are your
які
national
відгукуються вам.
heroes
Я тут поруч,
that
тут
speak to
Болгарія, я
you?
знаю, що
I
не
am
всім
nearby
відомий
in
Ататюрк,
Bulgaria. I
але
know
можливо
Ataturk,
ми
but
так просто це те, що є на поверхні, що не
maybe
бачимо
this is
тієї
only on the
глибини.
surface. Maybe we did not see that profoundly
Да.
in.
Гульсен, будь ласка,
Gülsen,
зам'ючений
please.
мікрофончик.
The floor is yours. Your mic is now muted.
Herkese merhaba. Ee, Çeşitlilikte birlik başlığını çok etkilenerek okudum. Ee, Gülbin, ben seni duymayabilirim, değil mi? Tamam.
Tabii ki.
Так, щось у нас тут немає перекладу, да?
Something is not working. I'm sorry, Gülgün, we do not hear you for some reason.
6 tane başlık altında cevap vermeye çalışacağım. Çeşitlilikte birliğe Türkiye'den nasıl karşılık verebilirim? Ne düşünüyoruz? Bu tabii ki Gülşen olarak benim rezümem, benim özetim, benim bakış açım.
Do you hear interpreter or sound? Yes.
We can hear you in the Turkish channel.
Ee,
Yes.
Başlıklardan biri, yani başkalarını örnek gösterilen ve kutsanan kişiler kimlerdir deyince
When we consider the people who are models for us, role models for us, I thought
e, çok ilgimi çekti.
it was very interesting
Birinci
topic for
sırada
me.
işte Mustafa Kemal Atatürk.
Well, the first person in my mind was Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, the founder of
Güncel ve
Turkey.
popüler bir yönetici olarak ikinci
This is a
sırada
popular leader
işte
throughout the
Türkiye
world.
Cumhuriyeti şu anki Cumhurbaşkanı Recep Tayyip Erdoğan
And as a
görünüyor.
popular
Üçüncü
personality,
sırada da
I thought
dini
about the Prime
lider,
Minister Recep Tayyip
Müslümanların
Erdoğan,
dini
the
lideri
president.
Muhammed görünüyor.
Çok
Çok
and as a
ilginç. Devam
religious
ettim
leader,
anketteki
our
cevaplara, katılım oranı bakımından.
Saint Muhammad.
İşte Osmanlı İmparatorluğu'ndan örnek verilmiş.
And
Fatih
as
Sultan
heroes,
Mehmet Demirel. Suç dünyasından örnek
models
verilmiş.
from
Çok
Ottoman
ilginç.
Empire and from
mafya
underworld
liderlerinin
leaders
adları verilmiş orada. Edebi
and
isimler verilmiş.
leaders from
Etkisi
literature
olan insanlar. Böyle sanatçıların
and
adları
artists,
var. Ki
outstanding
burada sıralamış.
artists.
İkinci başlığımızda ulusal kahramanlar
And who
kimlerdir
are the
sorusuna cevap
national
vermeye
heroes?
çalışacağım. Burada
Here,
gerçekten bizim birinci yüzyılı doldurduğumuz, ikinci yüzyıldan bir yılı bitirmek üzere olduğumuz Türkiye Cumhuriyeti'nin kuruluşu ve
well,
kurtuluşu
we can give the
sırasında
example of foundation of Republic
gerçekten
of
herkesin
Turkey.
katıldığı
Uh,
Atatürk ismi öne çıkıyor.
and Atatürk is the outstanding personality, the leader for us.
Sesler de onu eleştiren,
Even the opposite thoughts and ideas, they also agree that he's a big leader.
şekilde muhalefet etmeye çalışan gruplar da var. Oysa dönüp baktığımızda onun kişilik
On the other
özelliklerine
side, if we
baktığımızda
analyze the
bir
personality of
düşünün,
Atatürk,
koskoca bir imparatorluktan
well,
Birinci Dünya Savaşı'nın yenik düşen tarafında yer aldığı
Well,
için bütün galip, muzaffer, yenen ülkeler tarafından bütün toprakları işgal
well,
altında
as
ve
Ottoman Empire, whose
tam
lands
da
were
e,
occupied by the Allies.
yani can güvenliği tehdidini öne
And
çıkaran, güvenlik ihtiyacını çok öne
Atatürk
birliği
really
sağlama
searched for,
konusunda
and
çok önemli bir lider bana göre
he's a
Atatürk.
very big leader about
İncelediğimizde de
the
gerçekten bu
safety
yönü
of
çok
humanity, the
önemli
human
o
life.
günlerde. Ve bunu yaparken birincil yeteneklerine
And
hitap ediyor insanları.
he used his primary capacities
E,
to save
işte
people.
ayrımcılık yapmadan zengin,
There
fakir,
was no
okumuş,
discrimination.
cahil, köyde yaşayan, şehirde
Well,
yaşayan diye
he,
bakmadan
well,
zaten bir avuç elitlerin yönetiminde olan saray
well, the Ottoman
ve onun
Empire was in the
dışında
hands of
kendi
a few
halinde
elite
olan ve
people.
ihtiyaçlarını kendisi
But
karşılamaya çalışan koskoca bir
Atatürk
halk.
was the leader of the
Savaşa
public.
davet ederken tamamen can güvenliği tehdidi ve
Well,
görevini kurtarmak
everybody was
elinde
in
maddi
danger of
kaynakları
life. So
olmamasına rağmen
he had
onlarda
no
duysal
security.
yetenekleri,
So
bilinçli
his
yetenekleri
emotional capacities
harekete
to collect
geçiren
everyone.
yönergeler veriyor onlara.
And
Ve ne oluyor?
he
O
directed
insanlar
people.
ellerinde maddi kaynak olmamasına rağmen yapıp savaş
So
malzemeleri
people
olmamasına
who
rağmen
had no wealth at
kendilerin
all,
ikinci yeteneklerini
they used their
herkes
secondary capacity.
yaratıcılıklarıyla, birlik duygusuyla
And
ve
in
can
the
güvenliği
notion of
tehdidine karşı
unity,
ne
they
yapıp edip
united.
o üretimi gerçekleştiriyorlar
And
ve de
they
canları
saved
pahasına
their
kendilerini
country.
ortaya atıyorlar. Böyle bir savaş bizim Kurtuluş
So
Savaşımız.
this
Yani
is
varoluş
our,
savaşımız böyle bir savaş.
yeah, and this is our
Gerçekten
war.
zenginlik olarak oldukça gerilerde
And
ve bu konuda
it's beyond wealth, because our
yalnız,
search
tamamen yalnız
for
kalıyor.
life actually.
Yani orada liderlik ve kahramanlık
Here, the
adına
leadership and
kendisini bu anlamda
heroism.
fantazileriyle, hayaliyle
He imagined a
geliştirdiği
world, a
ön
country,
bilgileriyle ve
and
fantastik
it's
aslında ön
almost
bilgileri
fantastic because
hiç
it's a
gerçekten çok zor
liberated,
çerçeveler koyuyor
free country.
ülkesi için ve o kadar bu
At the cost
doğrultuda
of his
kendisi
life,
birinci
actually.
yeteneklerinin gücüyle iç
So,
kaynaklı bir
with the
motivasyonla
power of his
ikinci
primary
yetenekleriyle de
capacities, he saved
başarı
Turkey.
adına ve o halkın birliğini sağlamak adına
So
ya da
he
güvenlik
united his
adına
people,
ihtiyaçlarını gidermeye yönelik
and
güç birliğini
and
gerçekleştiriyor.
he
Bütün
really
insanlar ve de
actualized
insan
the
kaynaklarını bir
unity
araya
of
getirdiği oyun
people.
sayesinde başarıyorlar.
So under his
Biz
leadership,
tamam
people united.
kendi şeyleriyle böyle emperyal bir düşünce olmaksızın kurtarabildikleri topraklarının sınırları içinde kalmayı sağlıyor. Burada bir şeyden
Without the
söz
thought of
edeceğim. Kendi
imperialism,
doğduğu
well,
toprakta
all
bile
he thought about
gözükmüyor.
is just,
Mesela Selanik'te
just
doğmuş Atatürk.
conserve the
Yani
boundaries, the
kendi
borders.
çevresi neden yani orayı kurtarmayı düşünmüyorsun? Hayır, fantazisinde, hayalinde ve o güç birliği
He was
içinde
born in Greece.
kurguladığı
Asked him,
sanatçının
why
gücünü
did he save
sergiliyor.
Greece? Well, he
Yönetebilecek
thought just risked
maceraya
the
yeltenmek her
borders
şey için.
where he could just save
Bu
his
kısmı
people.
çok önemsiyorum.
It's very
Ve de
important, I
hemen
think.
neye başlıyor? İlkeler koyuyor.
Well,
Bizim
he
kimsenin korktuğunu
established
gözümüzün
principles.
içimizde biz örneğin şu sözü çok kıymetli. köylü, milletin
Well, when he
efendisidir.
said the countryman is
Bununla
the leader of
o
the
böyle
people.
yüzyıllar boyunca 600 işte yıl boyunca unutulmuş, kendi çapında üreten, toprakla ilişkili, hayvancılıkla ilişkili insanı onore
He
ediyor
honored the
ve
farm
üretimi
people
oradan başlatmak
because
adına
they
kadına
produce.
yönelik
It's
çok
very important and
çağdaş,
it's
seçim
very
ve seçilme hakkını
contemporary.
vererek,
It's very
kıyafet
modern.
devrimi yaparak, sanatçıları yetenekleri doğrultusunda işte Avrupa'ya
And he
göndererek
sent
eğitim
artists
almaları
to
için
learn
bilim
about
konusunda,
art.
kurumlar konusunda değil fakat Türkçe
So
alfabe
he
yazıyor.
developed our alphabet.
İşte geometri kitabı
And
yazıyor.
he wrote the Turkish
Ve
alphabet.
Türkçe
It's a
kelimelerle
very
onu
revolutionary act.
çocukların öğrenmesini kolaylaştırıyor.
And
Gene orada
he
sevgi
named
var.
these Turkish terms.
İnsan değeri
There
var.
is love there.
Temas var.
It's the
Kabul
valley
var.
of
Hem de koşulsuz
humanity.
kabul var
And
oralarda.
there's
Ve insanlar gerçekten
there's acceptance
o
there.
çeşitlilik içinde ki Anadolu toprağı tam bir çeşitliliktir. Mezopotamyasıyla, tarih
And it's
öncesiyle
a very
her ırktan, dilden,
there's
dinden
diversity in
ötürü
unity
insanı barındıran
because people
topraklardır.
coming from very
Ve
different
insan
regions,
olarak
they
bakmayı
united.
e, yaşatıyor, öngörüyor ve bunu
He
sağlamaya
valued
çalışıyor.
people because people are people.
Так цікаво.
Pardon.
Так
Sorry?
важливо, знаєте, навіть відчувається ось те, що в ті часи передається ваше таке, знаєте, е, захоплення цим героєм національним. І це можна навіть почути без перекладу. Так, воно справді дієве. Але якби ми могли би
Evet,
визначити
bir ulusal
ті
kahramanın bu
якості,
şekilde
чесноти,
bu çok
які
önemli.
є
Identify the
основою
characteristics
даного
that
образу,
are
то
the
що це було?
basis of this
Які,
image, what
можливо,
would they
здібності
be?
актуальні,
Maybe certain actual
кор,
capacities, the
головні, кореневі.
core capacities,
Ne
core
dersin?
actual capacities.
Gülbin, ben seni duyamıyorum. Duymuyorum. Duymuyorum.
Alo, özür diliyorum.
Hı hı.
Bir şeyin buradan da mı duyulur?
Duyuyorum ben seni şimdi.
Tamam.
Hı.
Belki beni duymasınlar. Bir ulusal kahramanı bu şekilde halen çok değer görmesi ne kadar önemli.
Hı hı.
Gerçek yeteneklerini ortaya koyarak bir ülkeyi bir araya getirmesi.
Hı hı. Teşekkür ederim kendisine.
Ha?
Devam edeyim mi? Kaç dakikam var? Diğer
Thank
sorulara
you.
geçeceğim.
How many minutes do I have with my presentation?
Şimdi peki bu durum giderek değişti mi? Buna bir
Now,
bakalım.
has it changed?
Gerçekten
Чи можна б 1-2 хвилиночки вкластися, щоб ми ще передали слово колегам ось з Росії,
Evet.
і ще
Bir
хто
iki
в нас
dakika
може
daha var
поділитися,
hocam.
можливо, своїми цими образами, щоб ми так все
Bir iki
встигли.
dakika
І в
daha
нас
var
ще
hocam.
є такий цікавий десерт на
İki
завершення.
dakika daha.
değişti mi ülkemizde?
So has the
Evet,
situation
içinde
changed?
bulunduğumuz yönetim aracılığıyla bu felsefeden yıllar içinde
Well, have we moved
uzaklaştırıldığını
far from this
yaşayarak
idea?
gözlemleyen bir kişiyim.
And
Genelleme
I
yapmıyorum. Fakat
experienced
bunun
it.
belirtilerini yaşıyoruz, görüyoruz
And I
uygulamalarda. Bu
experienced this.
anlamda
I lived
bizi
this.
şaşırtan ve üzen durumlar
And
var.
I'm really shocked and very sad about this
Çünkü
situation
sanattan
because
uzaklaşılıyor.
we're far away
Çocukların
from art.
okutulması konusundan uzaklaşılıyor. Bu durumlar benim canımı acıtıyor
Well, I feel really sad
yetişkin
about
olarak.
this.
Ve de kızlarımız için
As a
ve
woman,
sanata verilecek değerin kaybolması, azalması adına
I really feel sad
ben bir
about the
vatandaş
situation
olarak
in
bundan
Turkey.
üzüntü duyan biriyim.
I feel
Ama ben
sorry.
tek kişiyim.
I'm just one
Benim gibi
person.
düşünenler elbette
But of course,
olabilir.
there are people who think
E,
like me.
Peki biz danışanlarımıza mesela buraya geçmeden pardon Gülbün,
Evet.
mesela mizahta muhalefet etmeyi çok güzel ifade eden bir Aziz Nesin'imiz
Well, we
var.
have Aziz
Çocuk
Nesin who
romanlarıyla.
really who has a huge
E,
sense of humor,
işte
stating his
doğayla
opposition
iletişim
to the
konusunda
governance.
arboretum üreterek Hayrettin Karaca'mız vardı.
We have
Kaybettik
Hayrettin
yakın
Karaca,
zamanda.
who
Gerçekten
has a huge humor.
doğayla ilişki konusunda Arboretum'u dünyaca ünlü bir yerdir, bir koca yerdir. Mesela Aziz Sancar var, işte Nobel ödülü
We have
alması
Aziz
nedeniyle
Sancar,
bilinir dünyada.
who
İşte
was awarded
Muazzez
by
Bilge Çağ diye 100 yaşını
Nobel winner.
aşkın bir kadınımız var. İdol, kahraman, kültürel bir kahraman. Sümeroloji dilinde
We
ki
have
bütün yazıtları kitaplaştıran,
we have a
Türkçeleştiren ve
Turkish
dünya
woman
dillerine
hero
çevrilen bir kişi.
who has translated
İşte bir
all the
taraftan
text from
müzik
Sumerology.
alanında var. Fazıl
We have
Say var.
Fazıl Say, a
Fakat
pianist, you know.
bir arkadaşımın söylediği gibi gruptan popüler olan, çok zengin olan, kısa zamanda zengin olmuş insanlar da gençlerin dikkatini çekiyor.
Well, people who are wealthy
Ve
and
kahramanmış
who
gibi
are popular
davranıyor.
attract
Biz
young
danışanlarımıza
people.
bu isimleri verelim mi konusunu bir tartışma konusu yapmaktan yanayım ama fikrimi
Well, I
söyleyeyim.
have
Geçecek
a
zaman
suggestion
olmadığı için.
for really for just discussing that. Should we
Danışanlarla
tell these
çalışırken
people to
danışana
our clients?
kendi örneklerini, kendi kahramanlarını söyletmek, buldurtmak, bu konuda düşündürtmek bana önemli
Well,
gelir hep
well,
çalışmalarımda.
I think that we should make our clients think about their own
Yani
heroes.
hangi özelliklerini, hangi yeteneklerini
Uh, which
örnek
capacities
alıyor, modellemeye
do
çalışıyor,
they
dikkatini çekiyor.
take
Bu kısmı
model?
önemserim. Oradan hareket ederek
I
onunla
really give
çalışırım.
importance to this.
Ee,
Да. Про
son,
внутрішній образ. Да, дуже згодна з вами.
son sözüm.
Дякую, да, що той шлях героя, і він в кожного
Bu
свій.
tamamen
І
iç
якщо є
imajla
от
ilgili bir şey.
контакт
Çok
з собою,
teşekkürler.
да, і ось це відчуття свого шляху, то ось свій героїзм відкривається. Не потрібно. На приклади ми можемо спиратися, але все одно вибудовуємо свій власний.
Uh,
Я вам дякую дуже.
of course, we
Так, я
rely
розумію, що в
onto
нас
other
залишилося
people's
тут 5 хвилиночок
hero
до
path,
кінця, але я
and
вважаю, що ми
we build
встигнемо,
our own.
встигнемо
We
ще
have
слово
5 minutes
передати.
left,
Бачила,
so I
що
believe
ось
we can still
Олена
pass the
Кулєва, вона
floor
вмикала камеру. Якщо ви є,
to
Олена,
our colleagues, Alena Kuleva, if you're still
Ben
here with us.
anlamadım.
є.
Yes, I'm ready. Okay, I think that we can speak about heroes in two types, in two sense,
Teşekkür ederim.
broad sense and narrow sense. Yes, and we have two types of heroes: heroes of resistance, of opposite, and heroes of creation. And heroes of opposition and heroes of creation. And I think everybody can get heroes of creation. And all our clients are also heroes of creation when they manage with their weakness, with their problem. And it's all. Thank you.
Угу. Да, дякую.
Yes, thank
Дякую. Я
you so
розумію, так,
much.
що у нас
I
така
understand
дискусія ось
because we
набула
have
певного такого
such
своєго
a warm discussion
горячого
that has
моменту,
reached
але
its hot
важливі речі,
point. That's
які ми
very
сьогодні
important
торкнулися, це
points that
про
we have
те, що
covered
ми
today.
є, да, ці герої,
It's
вони є на
about the
національному рівні, вони є
existence
на
of those
світовому
heroes,
рівні,
that heroes
але
exist on
насправді як от
national level or on the
баланс
worldwide
любити,
level,
знати залежить
and
від
that balance
епохи,
is
від
about knowing and
середовища, від навіть цих
worshipping and
фізичних
understanding and
властивостей, так
remembering.
само і
It
героїв.
depends on the
Визначати
uh,
їх можна через
time
ці фактори
and on
пояснити,
the
і вони теж
geography,
будуть
and
змінюватися час від часу, і
sometimes
від того
that
місця,
knowledge
від
can be
середовища, і від того,
evaluated. It
через які
might be
властивості
defined
ми
by the
ці
place where
їхні
you are, of the
чесноти
community that you're
дивимося, чи
in.
що ми визнаємо.
And sometimes we
Для
look
вас
onto
є
their
така, знаєте, вже
characteristics from
традиційно
different points of view. And we have for you a very
медитаційна
traditional, already a
подорож. І
traditional
на дану тему в нас так
meditative
само
trip.
є підготовлена. Чи є у вас
Uh,
можливість затриматись
we have
на
prepared one for
5-7
you. Do you
хвилиночок,
have a
щоб
possibility to stay longer
можна
for 5 to 7
перемикнути
so that
наші,
we
знаєте, ці
can
нейронні зв'язки з лівої
switch
півкулі на праву
our
півкулю і
uh,
залишити такий
neural
образ
connections
дійсно не в
from
нашому
the left
просторі
to the
тут
right
загальному, а
hemisphere
там всередині в
uh,
кожному своєму.
to work on it
Якщо
in
так, то
our
було б дуже
inner
добре,
spaces. If that is possible
користуючись
for
такою
you to
нагодою,
stay
я
with us
можу,
for 5 to 7
можу
more
передати
minutes,
тобі слово,
then
бо знаю,
Anna, I
що
am happy to pass the floor to you because I know that you prepared.
Okay, thank you. I imagined myself recording this and sending after. But if we have space, I will make it short for just to make a closure, maybe, so that everyone can connect more with one own after this exchange. So if you just have time, just stay where you are and just notice where you are. You can look around and name in your head 5 objects that you can see, for example. Check if you feel comfortable and calm enough to make some discovery. Check how your body is feeling. Is it comfortable? Do you feel the points of support to your body? What sounds you can hear? Are there any smells? Do you feel any taste? And as you are here, where you are now, you can also go somewhere else in your imagination at the same time. And in this imagination, you can go to the past, or you can stay just where you are. That's your choice. And being here and being there, you can go to the time of your life when you felt very much inspired by some person. This can be anyone. Perhaps this is a hero, a person of like, pop culture, maybe, spiritual leader. Or perhaps this is a person not known worldwide, just important to you. Who is this person of authority, or perhaps a person of support, or special quality of love? Check, who is this? And if there are more than one persons coming to your mind, just check which one attracts you most at this moment. And check what is happening in your body, in your thoughts, in your emotions when you bring it into your scope of consciousness. This person can be still alive or maybe not living anymore, but they are still alive in your memory at this moment. Perhaps this is even a fiction creature. It's also equally okay. And please pay attention which specific quality you value the most in the person you focus on now. Which virtue do they represent? Which capacity or which quality that you find really, really important, in what they inspire you or perhaps give you a lot of support? Do you remember how you incorporated this virtue, this value, this capacity? Was it through being told or by example or modeling? How their qualities helped you in the past? How their example and internalized image and qualities are working at you and you at present. And perhaps you can also notice how this person can be supportive to you in future. Notice which qualities, features, virtues you value in them. Is it connected with any sensation in your body? With a thought? With an image? Just notice it and embrace it. This is yours forever. Hmm? Can you feel gratefulness for this? I know this was very quick and fast journey. If you need to do it slower, you can do it anytime you wish and need. And check how you can take it with you after we get out of the Zoom. And this supportive figure, your authority of healer or defender, can be still with you. Now, if you want, you can look around who is together with you here in Zoom space. Yeah. And you can hear, listen to what you can hear. Feel your body, move your body. Yeah. That's it. You know, heroes are very popular, and sometimes this is a grandmother, a neighbor, a teacher, a person selling in green grocery shop. I have one like this. Yeah, thank you.
Ти наче в мою реальність потрапила,
It
бо я
feels like you have entered my reality because I have remembered my grandmother as a hero during this practice. And I have just thought about
що я сама можу пишатися, в
what
чому
I can be proud
я
of,
маю визнати
where I
свій
need to
героїзм,
recognize my heroism,
і як підтримати себе,
and
в
how
цьому, як
I
це
can myself
визнання собі
support myself,
присвоїти.
and how can
В
I
чому
own this recognition about where each of us is a hero to oneself. Thank you so much for this special meeting, wonderful meeting, colorful meeting, and for this tasty dessert in a form of this meditation that truly gives more insights. Thank you all.
Дякую, Анна, тобі.
Yes, thank you, Anna.
За партнерство.
Yes, thank you.
For this partnership, for your support of our today's circle.
І чекаємо вас
And
на
we are waiting on you for our next meeting. If you have any ideas of the topics that you would like us to explore, that would be really great. Please share the topic with us, share your ideas with us. We will see each other definitely this year. Of course, the holidays are approaching and it's gonna be fun. And until we meet again.
Yeah. And next time, I think we will focus on raising children in different cultures. Bye. Thank you, translators, very, very much. Thank you.
Да.
Sonia, Asia.
Да. Такий низький уклін. Стільки каналів було.
We had so many channels today.
Very many. Bye, Simon. Thank you.